Hi guys, George here again to do another chainsaw video on behalf of Red Band UK. Today we're going to be looking at the Husqvarna 100 series chainsaws. Husqvarna categorise their saws from 100 series to the 500 series and in between as well. So the 100 series being the basic entry level saws, and today we're going to be discussing the 120 Mark II, the 130 and the 135 Mark II. 14-inch chainsaws, perfect and ideal for pruning and small trees. These saws are for the occasional use homeowner consumer market. These saws all have, as I said before, a 14-inch bar, but they also have the X-Cut S93G chain on them all. The engines run all at the same RPM, however we're looking at on the 120, 1.4 kilowatts, 1.5 kilowatts and 1.6 kilowatts on the 135 Mark II. The weight across the 100 series that we have in front of us today, the 120 Mark II chainsaw is actually the heaviest by 150 grams, being 4.85 kilograms. These two, the 135 Mark II and the 130, these are actually 150 grams lighter. So looking at the oil reservoirs on these, which is obviously important for cutting, they have a little pump near the dry sprocket, and that drip feeds out onto the bar and chain, which is important for lubrication when we're cutting, obviously with the heat. On these two particular models, on the 135 Mark II and the 130, they have an oil reservoir of 0.26 litres. This one, considerably less, is 0.15 litres on the 120 Mark II. If we look at the fuel, fuel obviously very important for these machines. On these two again, larger fuel tanks. We're looking at 0.37 litres on the 130 and the 135 Mark II. And again, we're dropping down to 0.28 of a litre on the 120 Mark II. Again, not a lot in that, and again down to just a consumer's choice when coming to purchase these machines. Obviously, it should be obvious, these are two-stroke engines, so therefore no sump means that the fuel and oil mix, we need to get this right. So with these machines, we are looking at putting 5 litres of unleaded petrol in with 100 millilitres of Husqvarna two-stroke oil. This is something that, as I said at the start, is obvious, but it's something that I find that a lot of contractors get wrong by accident, or it's just not right, and a lean seizure on one of these machines can be catastrophic for your engine. For some people, the difference between, say for example, buying this machine and buying this machine would be your fuel consumption, especially with the impact of everyone talking nowadays about going greener and your environmental impact. For example, the 135 Mark II and the 130 has 0.98 litres per hour. Obviously they're bigger engines, and that is, give or take roughly, that is a 20% increase on the 0.81 litres per hour on the 120 Mark II. I think that's pretty self-explanatory because of the size of the engines for these two. Just to have a look at some of these on these particular models, let's go and look at some of the other things, other characteristics that they have. They all come with standard primer bubbles, chain lock. You've got your choke and your stop button, your fuel in there and your chain oil in there. And on this one you have a front mounted chain tensioner, which is the same on the 130. Again, front mounted. Just coming on to the 135 Mark II. Again, similar features again. But on this one we have something slightly different. This one's side mounted. Again, perfectly fine, not an issue, not a big difference, but for some people that could be the difference between buying this one and buying this particular product. So in conclusion, with these machines, your choice on which one you prefer to buy would come down for me down to how much work you're going to do, how demanding that work is, your personal budget, and whether you think the machine you're buying is value for money. For more information about anything we've discussed in the video today, or a recap on any details or technical specifications, for price and more information, please visit our website www.redbanduk.co.uk. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.